It's time to get down to business on TK Business Live, brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association. Now, let's join Tara Dimmick, owner and publisher of TK Business Magazine, as we take a look into the business world of Topeka, Kansas.
Hi, and welcome to TK Business Live. I'm Tara Dimmick, owner and publisher of TK Business Magazine, and it's great to be with you this Sunday. We have a packed show coming up. We've got Todd Averett. He's going to pop in real quick and give a quick tip. Todd is with Leading People Partners. He's the owner and has some great advice for how you can help lead your company. Then Bryon Schlosser will be joining us. He is the CEO and general counsel of Coldwell banker Griffith and Blair American Home. So I'm looking forward to talking with him about some of the advice he has for locating your business, as well as find out a little bit about the real estate market right here in Topeka. And then finally, Andrea Engstrom will be joining us again to give a quick tip to help your business grow. So thanks so much for joining us, and we'll get going. Todd Averett, owner of Leading People Partners, an expert in leadership, strategy, change, and talent management, is joining me with a quick tip for you and your business.
Hi, this is Todd Averett. Policies can really matter, and one of the best ways that they can help your organization is if they are aligned with your values. And so as you work with your team to identify those values that are really important to the company, very important to your company, take a look at your policies to make sure that they reinforce those values. What do your policies say, for example, about teamwork and collaboration or about accountability? Are your policies aligned with your values? When they are, you'll be able to drive the culture that you want further and faster.
That was Todd Averett, owner of Leading People Partners, an expert in leadership, strategy, change, and talent management. I'm here with Bryon Schlosser. He's the CEO and general counsel of Coldwell banker Griffith and Blair American Home. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. And we get to talk a little bit about real estate. But first, we had you as a last word a couple issues back in TK Business Magazine. And I found it fascinating how you got into real estate, because you're not, it's not born and bred real estate. How did you get there?
Actually, the thing that's fun about the real estate industry is hardly anybody has gotten out of school and become a realtor.
Right.
Realtors get to be realtors kind of like I did. I was unemployed because I'd practiced law for 11 years. I'd been in the restaurant business for 13 years. All of our restaurants were sold back to our franchisor, and I was sitting, looking at my wife, wondering about what we were going to be when we grew up. And I really wanted to be in the restaurant business. It was very exciting. I loved the competition and the marketing part and the development of the kids who would go to work for us at Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes. And being able to watch them from being part-time employees as college students and going into a management position. One of our district managers had worked for us part-time, and that's really exciting to be involved in that kind of career development. And when the Griffith and Blair opportunity came up, I thought, well, I didn't like the restaurant business because I liked to cook.
Right.
I mean,
it wasn't about the food.
I didn't know where our kitchens were. I liked the marketing and the competition and the people development. I thought, well, that's what the real estate business is. And so the skills that I learned practicing law and in the hospitality industry all transferred to real estate. And that's most of our salespeople and our staff people have all been in some other industry before, and they've become realtors and brought with them a wealth of information from other disciplines. It's really a fun group of people to be around.
Well, it seems like it. I think it seems like a really unique and special, the bridge between relationship building, and I think it's very little. I mean, sales is sales, but it's really relationships and connecting people with what they really desire.
I've just finished looking at the first 6 months of our sales history. One of the things we ask when we close is, how did you come to choose your realtor. And of our buying clients, 65% were because of their relationship. Mm-hmm. And on the listing side, the listing, it was 80%.
Right, because who am I comfortable being with my house?
People that know you, like you, trust you. Yes.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, the restaurant business, that's a fascinating business. My family has been in that, and my husband and I worked for the family business, him specifically, and it was a fascinating world of a lot of hours and a lot of hard work, but a very rewarding work that I guess I didn't expect that to be part of the restaurant business.
Well, when you're in a service industry, there's hardly any opportunity to be of service more than being in the hospitality industry.
You're constantly in it.
That's what it is.
Constantly in it.
Serving, yes.
So Chuck E. Cheese, it's all about location. So what's your philosophy on location for retail space and office space? What should businesses be thinking about when they're getting ready to locate their business?
Well, the common commercial language is the first three things you consider is location, 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 and that's absolutely right. I mean, Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza in their original foundations was a poorly conceived concept, and it didn't work. So there were many, many Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz locations that were closed. Mm-hmm. And so I got to go to a lot of the auctions, and I got to see a lot of the mistakes people made, believing that was a destination restaurant, meaning people made their decision before they left to go there, before they left home to go there. And as a consequence, people would take locations on the backside of strip centers or in an L-shaped strip center right in the corner of the L, which provides a lot of square footage, but very little frontage. And those locations failed. I mean, they may have been the cheaper locations, but destination still benefits from visibility.
It does. It does. Well, and I think I have a 3-year-old daughter, and there'll be moments where we decide literally the second we're driving by Chuck E. Cheese to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And It's like, this will make her so happy. We've got a little bit of extra time. Let's do it.
Well, we believed that our customers were moms. They are the gatekeeper, we decided, of the family, and that's who we wanted to appeal to. And on the other hand, what got the moms there was usually a nag factor. So we would market to kids on TV to nag their mom to make the decision to take the family to Chuck E. Cheese.
The truth of marketing right there. That is exactly what it's all about. That's exactly what it's all about.
The nag factor, right.
So how does a business look at that? I mean, what's that? I mean, that's a big, significant dollar amount sometimes of choosing behind versus the prime spot. How do they make that decision?
Huge. Well, first of all, deciding who the customer is critical. And whether you're in a retail business or a food service business, deciding whether the main profitable part of your business is evening, daytime, breakfast business is all important, because that's going to decide which side of the street you'd like to locate on. And if you're in an intersection, which side of the stoplight you want to be on. So, I mean, if you're in the breakfast business and the breakfast traffic going downtown is going east, then you want to be on the south side of the street and east of the stoplight, so that people exiting your premises have an easy way to get out, which I was reminded of when I got off 470 onto Wanamaker Road and tried to get in the left lane to turn on Untune.
It's a beast to try to get through that 470 onto.
Okay, well, here's an intersection I don't want to locate.
Right. Well, and how many times does a business locate and you have to really work to get to them, even though they're a prime spot? I mean, in your head, I look at it and I'm like, that seems like a prime spot.
Yes.
But really, there's a lot of work to actually get to them. Does that hinder?
Well, we're really spoiled in Topeka, because we kind of believe that if you can't park pretty close to the front door,
right,
then you're really being abused.
Very true.
But we would go to the same restaurant in Kansas City. I mean, on the plaza, if you can park within 4 blocks of where you want to go eat, you kind of view that as a victory.
Mm-hmm.
And here, ring roads around shopping centers in markets like Kansas City, that's a really great location to be on the ring road. But in Topeka, it's too hard. You've got to make like 3 turns to get to the parking lot.
Well, and I think that whole idea, and I had never thought of it, of being on the south side when everybody's going east. Of course, that's right. You want to be able to make them turn right, and you want to be able to turn right back out.
Yep.
Such an easy thought process, and yet I would think that's often overlooked.
It is. I've seen an example of it under construction right now. Bad decision. But they didn't ask me, so.
They missed that opportunity.
Yes.
Any other thoughts as far as what a business should think about when they're doing that location and they're figuring out where's the right spot?
Well, if you're a current location looking for a new business, I like to get paper maps. You remember when
I don't even know what those are. I haven't actually seen one for quite a while.
You could fold them out in all those, myriad of folds, and
you can still buy those.
But yes, you can.
Teasing.
I still like to get them when I'm in a strange town because
you can see the whole picture.
You can kind of practice. When you look at a map of a city and you see streets running perpendicular to each other in straight lines, that's usually the old section of town. Mm-hmm. The new section of the town, the streets are kind of squiggly and they're made a little more pleasing manner than just getting from east to west.
I don't know. It gets a lot more confusing when those lines go squiggly for me.
But the thing about map is, especially if you have a current business, you get out some of those blue or red colored pins and start pinning where your customers live and what's convenient for them, and where your employees live and what's convenient for them. And a lot of businesses, not necessarily retail-oriented, want to have a location that is convenient for their employees. So if that's important for them, you can learn a lot from just getting a pin map out and saying, well, where do they live?
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have done that. When we moved our business, we only did it for a year. We had business kind of on the southwest side, and then we moved it over to Kansas Avenue, which I love what's going on at Kansas Avenue. But for me, what I didn't realize when we moved it is I went from everyone being able to get to our office in southwest in 5 to 10 minutes. I moved them all to Kansas, and it started becoming 20 to 25 minutes for them.
Yes.
I just didn't even realize I was going to do that.
That's such a huge deal in Topeka.
It was huge.
Yes.
And it was huge for me. I went from a minute to 25 minutes.
I tell people then they're moving to Topeka from out of town that we kind of feel abused if we have to spend more than 15 minutes going someplace. I mean, that's not our mentality. That's kind of out of the way.
Yeah. Well, that is really good advice to take. And I hope those that are listening kind of think about that. Think about even how you drive and what choices you make, because you're just like everyone else. If you're a business person and you make decisions, how do you make those decisions? Why do you choose where you go? And what is it because of ease versus just because, I like that spot? Because there's a difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and attracting employees. I mean, my daughter works in Wichita, and she had multiple job offers, and she chose the one that was closest, easier for her to get to, and to the babysitter, and I mean, all those things that you
because you don't want to spend that much time on the road if you don't have to.
No, that's correct.
If there's another opportunity. Okay, so you've got new services going on over at Coldwell Banker as well.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about the new management services.
Well, we actually started this a few years ago when we realized that it was time for a lot of people who had purchased homes back in 2006, 7, and 8, when you could purchase a home with no money down. And it was time for them to either be moving up, or maybe they had to leave town. There was a job, a transfer, and they needed to sell their home, but they didn't have any equity in it. So we thought, and we also thought it was going to be more and more difficult for home buyers to qualify for financing. So we thought there would be an increase in the need for nice rental homes in Topeka. And so people who were perhaps upside down or didn't have sufficient equity to sell their home and got a job transfer might prefer to lease their home for a few years instead of selling it and taking a loss. And so that was the strategic planning session we had that kind of gave birth to that idea. And we we sat on it and didn't do anything. And finally my chief financial officer said, gosh darn it, if nobody's going to do this, I'm going to do it. And so Michelle Lewis gave birth to our management company. And so we have about 50 homes now that we manage for the owners. And some of them are absentee owners. Some of them are local Topeka investors.
Oh, that's great. What a great service, because there's a lot of people in that situation, or a lot of people that may be interested in that situation. So what do they need to do if somebody's interested in, maybe if they have a house that they're currently renting, or if they want to get into this business? What do they need to do with that conversation?
Well, call for Coldwell Banker, Griffith Blair Management Company, and our manager will come out and look at the house and give an assessment and what needs to be done to it to put it in rentable condition, because rental homes are just like homes we want to list for sale. We want them to be in top condition, and we want to be proud to have a Coldwell Banker sign in the yard, and it's for sale or it's for rent. We've gotten some listings from homeowners because there's the option of either selling it or renting it available from the same company. So when the home is in the acceptable condition, we screen the tenants. We have a service that does a background check for us, and the owner still has the responsibility to make the decision as to which tenant we select. But we usually require a 1-year lease, and so we collect the rents, we take care of the management and the supervision,
and let the homeowner be able to go do whatever they're doing, yes, whether it's a different job or whether it's even just not having to worry about it.
I'd say about half of our owners are out of town and half are in town, but just investors.
Wow, what a great service. Okay, so I can't have you here and not ask you about at least some area of the real estate market. So maybe I should let you pick which.
Well, primary part of our business is the residential market, and this has been an unusual year. We hardly ever know what to expect in a presidential election year, because after the primaries are over, all of the marketing being done by both sides is very negative, and it gets to people's psyche. And people don't make major decisions when they're uncertain about things. So we never know what it is to expect during an election year. And but so far this year, we've been blessed with a very active market. For most markets, and I'm trained to say which market are we talking about, because there's an upper end market, there's a city market, there's a county market, there's your neighborhood, and so a realtor can have that discussion with you about your market, meaning your neighborhood, your street. But the national level, the state level, and the Topeka level all has one really unique feature this year, and that is very low inventories. We just do not have enough homes
for the number
for sale
of buyers
right now. And so a home that is priced well and clean and shows well will be sold promptly, perhaps multiple offers.
Wow.
And that's not multiple offers for a seller. They view that as a very good deal. But the bad thing about multiple offers is somebody's going to end up being mad. and you don't like to deal with that situation. You like to be in a business where both sides end up happy. And so we got two sides that end up happy, but there's somebody that's disappointed.
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the new and the new build, but is anything happening with building houses right now? It seemed like that had gotten almost inactive.
Yes. During the 2008 crisis and beyond, the new construction business in Topeka pretty much came to a standstill, except for custom homes. And we still lag other markets in that. There's more new construction in Manhattan, for instance. Manhattan never knew there was a recession.
Right.
That market.
They missed that memo.
I know. That's right. Lawrence home values took a big hit in the 2008 crisis, and they're recovering from that. And they've got a new construction market that's improving, and Kansas City does. And but still in Topeka, we lag the rest of the markets in our area in new construction. And one of the issues that we have there is our home values in Topeka are so affordable compared to other markets around us that it's very difficult for a contractor to build a home for a price that's competitive with existing homes that are on the market and still make a profit.
I hadn't thought about that. That's really true.
So one of the things that a low inventory has done for us, I remember sitting in econ class at K-State, and it seemed like, every class period I was drawing those graphs of either guns or butter or supply-demand. Well, the supply-demand curve has taken on a really close relationship with me in the last 3 years because we just have not had the supply of homes. So that is increasing the value of homes in Topeka when there are so few on the market compared to the buyers that are out there. I was just looking today at the inventory at the end of May, and in the $100,000 to $200,000 price range of listed homes, we had less than a 2-month supply of homes in that price range.
Wow.
Listed for sale. So it's a very competitive market. It's a good time for sellers. And
good time to sell if you were thinking about selling.
Make it a great time for buyers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why interest rates haven't increased, but every year the mortgage industry says interest rates will be gradually increasing over the next 12 months, and we expect them to be up another %. Well, in the interest rate world, if interest rates go up 1%, the purchasing power of a buyer goes down 10% for the loan that they will qualify for. So the interest rates right now make it very attractive to buy a home.
Yeah, it seems like a great time to be doing either. Then it's kind of one of those win-win a little bit, with a little bit of frustration maybe with the fact that the price is going up.
Yes,
but that's a good thing for Topeka.
Yes, I think so, because the more prices get a little more realistic in terms of the value of a home, the more likelihood we will have some new construction being more available. And a lot of home buyers want new construction.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're looking for it and maybe choosing somewhere else because they're not getting it or because it's too cost prohibitive to go with something really custom. And so it makes it a difficult decision. I know for me, I like used house if you're not going to new construction, because I like those bones and I like that. But but I can definitely see the appeal for a new house and why that would be a market that Topeka needs to get going. So, well, Bryon, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to talk with you. And we plan to have Bryon join us as an expert in the fall issue of TK Business Magazine, talking a little bit more about why you might choose a location and what to look for and consider when you're thinking about where do I locate my business. So I'm excited about that.
That'll be a fun thing for me to write down and put in words.
Yeah, that'll be good. I know how that goes. Bryon, thank you for joining me.
You bet. Thank you, Tara.
My name is Ken Daniel, and the name of my company is Midway Wholesale.
What is TIBA? TIBA is advice and support. TIBA is information and education. TIBA is a voice for small businesses.
You're going to meet other small business people. You're going to have an opportunity to adopt some of the things that they found to be successful, and you're going to make some lifelong friends.
The Topeka Independent Business Association is strong because of its members. Become a member today by visiting topekatiba.org.
I have Andrea Engstrom, business coach with Action Coach Business Coaching and agency founder of Bajillion Agency right here in Topeka. And she's going to share a quick tip with us. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you. So today I want to share with you 2 goals for a first meeting. If you're meeting with a new potential strategic partner, you've got 2 goals for that meeting, because a lot of times people enter a strategic partnership conversation and they don't really know where to take it or what to do first. And so the simple thing in your first meeting, your 2 goals are simply, number 1, to learn their needs and wants. Just focus on them. So you'll want to ask them questions about their vision for the future, their challenges and needs, maybe how they currently get new clients. Do they have a formalized referral system that's working really well for them? So really focus on them. And the second goal for that first meeting is to schedule your next 4 meetings with them. Because a lot of times what happens is we have a great conversation and it stops right there. And so if we schedule 4 meetings into the future, because we see opportunity that we might be able to work together to help our businesses grow together, if we schedule those 4 meetings, then we have a plan to spend time together working on our relationship and developing what we might be able to accomplish together. But if we don't schedule the 4 meetings, it can be months and weeks and months before we pick up the conversation again. So be proactive about getting those things on the calendar, and that makes you a really good partner.
Thanks so much, Andrea. That was Andrea Engstrom, business coach with Action Coach Business Coaching and agency founder of Bajillion Agency. Thanks so much to my guests for joining me today. Todd Averett with Leading People Partners, Bryon Schlosser with Coldwell Banker, Griffith and Blair American Home, and Andrea Engstrom with Action Coach Business Coaching and Bajillion Agency. Also, a big shout out and thank you to our sponsor, the Topeka Independent Business Association. You can learn more about TIBA at topekatiba.org. That's topekatiba.org. And if you're wanting to know more about what's going on in the business community and the news of the businesses right here in our community, go check out TK's website. It's tkmagazine.com. We update it every day with great business news that's going on. And be sure, if you haven't, like us on Facebook, connect with us on Twitter, connect with us on LinkedIn. We'd love to be sharing with you what's going on in our business community and hearing from you what's going on in your business. Have a great week.
Thanks for joining Tara and her guests on TK Business Live. Join us again next Sunday at 11:30 to hear more from our community business leaders, entrepreneurs, and people making a difference in the landscape of how business is progressively moving forward in Topeka. TK Business Live is brought to you by the members of the Topeka Independent Business Association.